Secondly, it was the deed doesn't give a record of it having taken place. It was for 60 years, which eventually somebody decided to
was discovered. In the 19th century, for states that we purchased Manhattan Island for 60 Holden worth of goods and so forth. The translator at that time looked up 60 guilders in the currency exchange and came up $24. This was like in 1870 something. And people are still using that figure, and they're not even adjusting it for inflation. It's such a romantic notion, it's $24 for some reason that people just can't get rid of it. 60 guilders worth of trade goods would have filled up one of these rooms, probably with axes and knives and awls, things that the Indians couldn't produce themselves. They were invaluable to them. It raised their technology to a higher level. And
still a good deal.
Pardon?
Still a good deal.
It's still a good deal, yeah.
Let me remind everyone that there could be lots of celebrations and events coming up this year. This may be the first one, in fact. There could be mayoral proclamations. There's going to be a pavilion built by the Dutch government. There could be lots of commemorations over the summer and in September for the 400th anniversary itself of Hudson's arrival. Let me ask, because the quadricentennial of the city is coming upon us, the question is, what year is it coming upon us? Is it going to be 2024 or 25 or 2064 or whatever? If each of you had to pick one date, assuming that the flag and the scale of the city are correct, let's leave this, I think, in just the number, unless you want to amplify very briefly. Well, what would that date be? Ken?
Well, I would suggest 1624 because as of that date, there's a permanent European presence in a place we now call New York City, even though it originally was Governor's Island, so a couple hundred yards, so the difference is big. So 1624.
Russell?
This is the most burning question or just to be annoying, I'll say 1653.
Which is why?
Because February 2nd, 1653 is when the city of New Amsterdam won its municipal charter.
And Charlie?
Technically, Russell is correct. But I agree with Ken. I would take 1624 because that's when the fort was built on Golden Islands or Nut Island, Governor's Island. A windmill was constructed there. For 2 years, they maintained a presence, European presence on the island before they eventually moved to Manhattan as a result of the big disaster in the north.
It is not a burning question, but as Ken Jackson pointed out, the fact that so many people became so passionate about it is an indication that history does matter to lots of people. And that, I think, is a benefit from this whole discussion. Does anyone have any questions, very quick questions to pose to our guests? Yes, sir. If you could just go over to the microphone or shout.
I think I can be heard. A practical question attributed to my wife. We have a wonderful map of the early city up there. Could one or all of you gentlemen just give us a quick overview of some of the streets so we can get a frame of reference?
Russell,
thank you very much.
Good question.
This is New Amsterdam, this is Wall Street, this is south, and we're north of Manhattan Island. In 1653, when I just decided that I thought that should be one of the first acts of the city council was to build a wall here, which was actually not a wall, wooden fence. This is Pearl Street, that's Broadway. And this is Broad Street, so-called because there was a canal, which was really more of a ditch then, so it was broader than other streets. The fort at the southern tip is now pretty much occupied by the old customs house, so that kind of gives you a nice reference point. And then, of course, Battery Park is now
So the World Trade Center and so forth is out in the water. Somebody wanted to call me up once and wanted to know where it was, if I could locate it on the Costello plan. And I said, well, about where those boats are. That's all filled for about 2 blocks all the way around the island.
And the irony is that the World Trade Center is itself built on landfill, and then when they excavate to build a World Trade Center, that there comes Battery Park Center. So keep us pushing on.
Yes, one last question. Yes, sir.
What about the exploration they had some of the images of Leslie's channel that you find?
Why did Hudson expect to find the channel?
It wasn't just him. It's been built up in the previous century. Explorers came to, and I honestly can't remember what the Charlie knew, what made them believe, they believed it had to be the sort of symmetry of Europe. When it goes back to Aristotle.
Symmetry of geography. You could go south. You could also go north around land masses.
Do we have one more? Yes, ma'am, there's one.
I was just wondering, I'd like to offer you an amendment of your title and the last part to suggest that maybe you should say how the ancestors of the Dutch and Belgians distinguished the nation's greatest city. I mean, does that make sense? In the sense that Belgium...
We want to give credit to the Belgians as well, not just the Dutch. This is what New York is all about. That's what happens in a presidential campaign here or foreign approach. I'd like to thank our panel so much. Thanks to all of you. Liz Berger, who is the president of the Downtown Alliance.
Good evening, and thank you very much for helping us launch our 5th annual Downtown Thursdays Lecture Series. This is a project we started 5